going off, let me know. And
Tottenham On Tour. Tottenham On Tour. Tottenham On Tour.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are. Thank you for coming on to Tottenham On Tour, where we're going to discuss, as the title says, another bloody disaster. I'm choosing my word very, very carefully. There's no Brian Ireland today, so it is myself, Adam Clarke, and from Chelsea Spurs, my lawyer, Rez. So let's get rid of the banner and welcome everyone. So first of all,
yeah, I get rid of it when I figure out how to do it. Sorry, we're very professional here. There you go.
No,
there we don't go.
Go to banner. There we
It's
go.
all under control, people. Don't say anything. We meant to do that. It's a comic relief thing.
Exactly. It's what happens when Ireland's not here. Technical issues.
Exactly.
So
Inexperience,
let's
but
just
anyway.
go around the table. Adam, how are you, buddy?
Pissed off. Very, very pissed off. 2 games where we should have won on paper. We didn't, and we didn't even just draw one of them, or maybe lose one, win one, lost both of them. I'm just so sick and tired of this ridiculous mentality. I said in one of my videos that back there on the flag that says Spurs, just stick a Y onto it and you'll sum up perfectly what the mentality of this club is like at the minute. It's just been Spursy for the last 2 games, and also that's really all I have to say, to be honest. Like, I mean, I'm just like so annoyed at like.
So, Rez, how are you, buddy?
well, I, especially when the final whistle went, I was seething. I've got to the end of the tether. There's just so little that hasn't been said before that I can't even express it, because I feel like a broken record. We've been saying it over and over and over again, that you just think to yourself, when is this going to change? Yep. When are we actually going to see some change? So yeah, I'm seething is probably the best way. We had some socials after, and that was nice, and it helped sort of make me feel better. But when I think about it, just the rage starts to climb again.
Exactly. So we'll go through what we're going to do. We're going to talk about what happened today and a bit about the game. Just give it on the run of show. In a minute, Adam's going to fly through the comments, and we're going to say hello to everyone. Then we're going to have a general chat about today, and then we're going to put the link in the chat, guys, and we're going to set the countdown timer, and we're going to try and get through as many people as we can, and everyone, like we've done before, is going to have 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, it will be your final statement, because we're going to try and get through as many as we can. We don't want to overlap. But just so people know, because they know I am a recovering alcoholic, it's got to today, and I just need to feel that I'm drinking. So when you see me drinking from red wine, I just want to show everyone that does say alcohol-free. I just need the taste, and don't have any alcohol-free beers today. So Adam, I will just hand over to you to go through the comments quickly.
Yeah. Well, welcome the Tottenham On Tour family in, and I already see a huge amount of regulars, as always. So, Jamie Gitt, first of all, big up as well, as always here. World-class manager, striker, goalkeeper, let down by the rest. Summed up perfectly, my man. Honestly, yeah. Cheers, Brian says cheers to that. And the chairman that refuses to invest properly. Yep. I mean, 100% truth, man. Not a word of a lie. Hashtag Levy out all day, every day, lad. I mean, especially at this stage. Like, this has just gotten ridiculous now. It's almost getting out of control now. Chris Agenbar, another great supporter of the channel. Always one of the first people, actually, in the comment section. So, fair play to you, Chris. He says, shocking and impotent, definitely. Those players were today, worrying that they can't do the basics. You know what, actually? Yeah, sometimes it just seems like they can't do the basics. Like if ever they're having a bad game, the basics just go out of their head, and yet they're like fully intent on like doing these like ridiculous skills. Like I mean, like what the hell are they? Ronaldo when he first started off at United. Like I mean, just it's like I mean, it's like Dave Harris says, just football. Like when you melt it down, is a simple sport like to play. So just do the basics. There's no excuse for them. Like so, Anthony Gray, big up man. All this summer transfer talk is rubbish. Fact is, we need Champions League to attract the real top players in the summer. Yep, we know that. And for some reason, the owners always come across as they don't know it, even though they run the freaking club. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like,
you would hope after 20 years he would have learned something.
Yeah, something to do with football.
Yeah.
He said he just wanted to learn how to do property and all that shit. Oh, sorry, less than 10 minutes. It's two major mistakes I made tonight.
Sure that's the one. Let's make sure that's just the one, because at 10 minutes, believe me, I'm going to be letting rip.
Right, just building up. Right. Yeah. He also got on to say, though, we needed much more in January to give us a chance to get top four, then start. Yeah. I think we needed to, you know what, we shouldn't have waited till the last week of the window to try and buy players, or like to really go out and try hard. There was even, like, we all knew, like, the reports coming out saying that panic had set in. And, like, well, if you didn't want to be panicking by the end of the window, then don't be last minute FC then. Well said, Anthony Gray. And, of course, we have the man, the not-so-myth, but the bearded legend Cody Mack in the chat as well. I'm going to hit myself with a blue wrench. Do you know what? Join the queue, Cody. Join the freaking queue, lad. I mean,
this is
get to the stage. Oh, no. It's grey anyway, so it doesn't really count, Rez. But, like, you know, points for effort, though. Now, Bobby K says,
big
actually, up. Big up as well from Canada. Bobby K says, sham bollocks today. I mean, like, that's just perfect. Somebody's. So we should use that from now on whenever a result like this pops up, which hopefully it won't be too much in the future, but you never know. He says, sham bollocks today. What a terrible display yet again. Yep, those two words, yet again. Like, we're just, it's like Rez said, we're broken records at this point, just talking about this because it keeps happening over and over again, and we're all sick of it. Paul Brown, yet another regular. I mean, I love seeing all the regulars here, man. So big up. And I love seeing new people here as well. He says, to be honest, many may wake up to the fact that Lenik are literally using Tottenham Hotspur Football Club as a shop window. You know what? I mean, we saw that during the last week of the window before we signed Kulusevski and Bentancur. A lot of people were switching sides. Either even like people who were on the fence were going to the Lenik out. So there's hope yet, Paul. Not interested in investing in the squad, just the potential that it offers, exposure / merchandise. Yeah, I mean, we can see it. Why can't some other people? But look, I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It's possibilities, etc. Yeah, I mean, hit the nail on the head perfectly, Paul, man. So big up for that. Talking sense as always. Vented. Now, I haven't seen you here, so or like in the past. So like, big up. If this is your first time, and welcome. Good to see you here. He says, I think Conte will round up the boys and we will see a good performance for the City. My man, I love that positivity. To be honest, we need some after today and after Wednesday, but we're going to the Etihad, man, so I don't have a lot of hope for it. But look, if you have hope, then fine.
I thought he'd round up the boys after Southampton and we'd see a good performance against Wolves.
Yeah, but it didn't happen, sadly. I mean, you didn't even score one bloody goal. Now, Daryl Denton is also in the chat here, so welcome, of course, and big up for being here. It says, fans said that after Saints, this team is dead as a zombie. Half dead as a zombie, yeah. To be honest, I mean, I have nothing really to say because I can't argue with you. I agree. Like, this team, like, it's just so frustrating just to follow them now at this point because they're not consistent as well. That's why people are saying that there's dead as a zombie. Like, there's just nothing there anymore, as the all saying goes. So, yeah, talking sense as always, Daryl. So Alexandra Hilton is in the chat as well, regular as always. So thank you, man. And that's a good thumbnail as well. I don't know where you got it, but it's fantastic. I don't know what the hell Conte is wearing as well. So big up there as well.
When he was at Chelsea, yeah.
It looks like a teapot hole, like a teapot cover from here. But anyway,
inflatable crown.
Yeah,
you get this thing, you blow it up, and they gave him that when they won the league.
I love that. It's a good profile pic, isn't it? And he says, of course, big up to Brian the Man and steak. I'm in the mood for steak, Alex. Thanks now. I'm hungry now. So, also Phil is in the chat as well. Big up Phil as well. Top man. He says, well, another crap day at the office. Let's in the house, as always, man. As always. And we appreciate that. BD, hope you enjoyed your curry. I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Super Tottenham is also in the chat. Big up, man. He says, hi, Brian. And hello, guys. Hello to yourself, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the support. Dan COYS says something that says a very familiar phrase. He said, well, that didn't... Well, no, that didn't beeping go according to
Yeah.
plan. Yeah, Dan,
Big
I
up
wonder
to
where I've heard
Dan, who
that
I
before.
met today as well. He came to the
Yeah.
pub with us after. Big up, Dan.
Big up as well. Niall Woods in the chat. That's the name that's not familiar to me. So if it's your first time here as well, welcome, man, and thanks for coming on in the chat. So he says, bold of you to assume we haven't had a plan. Yeah. I mean, you'd never know that the players had even heard of a thing called tactics, would you?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just unbelievable. And of course, an old friend of mine here that I've known for quite a while, I like though, and had the pleasure to interact with many of the chats, even before I started coming on the stream. It's AE, but like some people call him Edwardson, but whatever you want to call him, he's a legend nonetheless. He says Antonio Conte would be forgiven for telling Levy he's had enough already. He would absolutely. Like, I don't think anyone in the right mind would blame Conte for saying, like, I mean, like, what am I doing here? What's the point?
Yeah.
I changed the system less than half an hour into the game, as Rev was telling me, like in the back room, and it still didn't work. It was still in the same situation. Like, what's the point anymore? Like, he's trying, and players aren't giving back. He also says it's only going to damage his reputation like it did to Jose. Exactly. I mean, when Jose came to us, he had won a trophy at every single club, and what a surprise that we're the only one. I think Inc as well, like so far even, that he still hasn't won a trophy yet, and never will, because like he would want to come back here anyway. He says it's totally unnecessary. Yeah, it is. I don't know like why we put ourselves in these situations, man. But look at the good thing is, I mean, look, you're here showing your support to us, so big mercies, my man. So thanks a lot for coming along. Boise 36 just sums it all up in one word: disappointed. Yep, we all are. We're dejected, disappointed, flipped off. So yeah, that's all we are. Big boss man as well, yet another regular. So thanks for coming on yet again, man. He says, big up Brian, top fella. I mean, of course he is. Or she's like, we all know that. The main culprits for today's shit beep show.
We're past 10 minutes.
Winks.
It's all good.
Past 10 minutes, yeah.
We're all good. We're all good. We're past
9:20 on my end, but anyway, it's fine.
Mine's at 12.
Yeah, all right. Sanchez, Winks, Davis, and Doherty. Wow. Yeah. Absolutely sums it up. I mean, yeah, that seems about right. The names you listed out. You know what? I knew that this is coming back to bite me on the arse, but I said that I wanted Doherty to start instead of Real just because of the absolute dreadful performance he put on against Southampton. So now it's obvious that that position, right wing back, is now officially a priority where we need to buy players, because the two absolute clowns we have in there just aren't good enough, and they're letting goals in for fun now at this point. So thanks for that comment, Big Boss man. You summed it up perfectly. F to both of them. Simon Stevens is here as well. Big up, lad. Thanks for dropping the comment in. He says, me and Rez are ahead of the crowd and chased targets before Levy could make his ball from stress. Simon, you're smarter than most people, man. I just want to say that. I don't have the balls to shave my head, but something tells me I won't need to. He's supporting this club anyway.
Do you know what, Adam?
I'm only 20.
Bring up the two super chats.
All right.
And then let's get talking. And then we're going to put the link out so we can get fans on to come and have their say. So I know there's two super chats to put up there.
So many people commenting. Love to see it. Moondog, of course, also a regular on Irish Hotspur show as well. Thanks so much for the £5 as well, man. I mean, every cent, like, we're grateful for. He says, what a load of crap that was. Yep, like, absolutely. I have had enough. I have watched Spurs for 53 years. My man, you're an absolute legend for sticking with this absolute shite. For that long. Honestly, I don't know what else to say. Just, like, I mean, top man, like, just for that alone. And the last time I felt this bad was relegation in the 1970s. Well, there you go. If the owners could see this, they're making people, they're incompetent, and if the players could see it as well. It's not just the owners now, it's the players they bring in. And the fact that they don't even want to, sometimes they just seem like they don't even want to perform, like, or that they just don't have the ability to perform. I make you question how they became professional footballers in the first place. They're making loyal fans like this feel bad in the same way when we got relegated.
So I'm going to talk a bit about that in my
rant. In people, yeah.
Because there is a ranting coming.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if there wasn't.
Ryan Isaacs. I don't think you need to rant, Brian, because Ryan Isaacs has just done that for you. I could hear his screams from here, and do you know what, man? I don't blame you one bit. I mean, just let it all out. At this point, it's the only thing we can do. And of course, as always, thanks for the £4.50 as well. It's fantastic. That's like everyone's donation. And I just want to welcome two more people in, actually. Absolute legends, and they deserve to be welcomed in. Of course, Irish brother Aaron Dove, all the way from Dublin. Big up, man. That's all I can say.
I haven't seen Aaron for ages, man.
I haven't either. it's good to see. It's good to see him though, and also he has the classic profile pic as well, in there as well. So absolutely love to see him back. And I just need to. He's saying hi to one more person I just want to bring in, and that's of course the legendary Gaguma from South Korea, absolute legend,
Gaguma.
big supporter of all the channels, no matter how big or small amount of subscribers they have. Absolute legend. Or rude, yeah. You know all about that phrase itself, side.
Yes.
Sorry, Brian. Just before you go on your rant, just I can see you're pumped up for it, like you're ready for it. Just wanted to get the super chat here from Bobby. He sends $5 in. Big up for that, Bobby, man. Thank you so much. He just says painful and disappointing. Yeah, 2 words that just sum it up perfectly. Like, I don't know. Like, I literally lost for words now at this point. He says this is shambolic and embarrassing. Love the Tottenham On Tour. Love straight back at you. And also, I think you're a member of Toronto Spurs as well. So love to them as well. So big up. And also love to the people at the Scotland Yard as well over in Toronto. And he also, of course, listen to him, man. Like and subscribe. Listen to what he says, his people, if you haven't already. So, Brian, take it away, bye.
Yeah. So I'm going to break this down into sections. I'm going to start with fans because Moondog brought it up. The reason I get so pissed off, the reason I get so angry, the reason I'm so outspoken, the reason I try to move heaven and earth to get this parasite out is because of people like Moondog, because of people like William Kelly, and all the fans that live around the world, and all the fans that have watched football and Spurs since the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, that remember the good times, that live all around the world, like when I live in Canada and get up for a 7 a.m. game to get to the Scotland Yard, I'm up at 5 a.m., that give our hard-earned time that we could spend with our families, we devote to Spurs. And all right, we may not be able to get to the ground when you're an international fan, or people of age that can't get to the game for obvious reasons, and they're seeing what's happening to this club. They were part of what Tottenham Tantrum Gold bring up and show us the history we had, the history we made, the outstanding performances, the outstanding players, the style we played with. It's them that give me fuel to carry on doing it. Because do you know what? Ben from We Are Tottenham TV today is one of the most passionate fans you're ever likely to see. He goes everywhere, gives everything. Yeah. Today at full time, I have never seen him so down, depressed, low, in such a bad state, like I was when I got furious when people didn't turn up to the Levy protest. It's things like this where we seem to think it's unacceptable that this happened, where we've just gone through the first decade where we didn't win a trophy. That's apparently acceptable. All the other things that have gone on, acceptable. But it's people like Moondog, and I use William Kelly all the time because he's in Australia and he almost gave Spurs up because of what's going on. It's because of them that I stand up for them, because they can't physically be here. Or they can't. And they should not, after telling their children or having their parents tell you about the wonders that Tottenham were. This is totally unacceptable. Unacceptable. And it's part of the reason we protest. Everyone thinks it's because of investment. That's a huge part of it. But it goes a lot further. It's the money that they're charging every single Spurs fan to go into the ground, to buy the kits, to everything that goes along with it. It all rolls up into one ball. And it's those people that I fight for. It's those people that I protest with. Whether they're with me in the country or not, I stand for those people. And then you have the other people who are like, oh, yeah, we got 2 players in. Oh, it's a great window. We did this, we did that. And now they start getting pissed off because you've realised it's not the great window. Yeah. We haven't addressed a fundamental issue at right back. And there's people now saying, Conte out. Yeah. And they're blaming every single person apart from the person to blame. I don't understand it. And now people are going, oh, I'm so pissed off, leave you out, leave you out, leave you out. Well, you had your chance. You had your chance to do something about it. Whether it would have worked or whether it wouldn't have, we never know. But one thing I will tell you is this time when me, Ryan, who will be on the show, I'm sure, and Graham were out there every single day. And then on the last day, the people that came, and a lot were from my Unique Out group. They came to try and make change.
Yep.
They came. And you've got to remember, it starts off with me, Ryan, and Graham at the training ground.
Yep.
That blew up on Twitter. There were actual articles in the British press. And I'm not just talking articles, it was a headline. The movement and the momentum was there.
Yep.
But because these two players came in, oh no, look, we're doing things right and we got rid of 4 Deadwood. Yes, we did get rid of 4 Deadwood. But we cannot. We got 2 in, and it's just like, do you know what? You had your chance. You had your chance when it was good, and now we've got to deal with what's coming. Then I'll move on to the players. Well, the players, there's no football intelligence in this team. I would say Lloris, Romero, Ollie Skip, Bentancur, possibly Kulusevski. He started off a little slow, but I think he'll get there. Son and Kane. I would say are on the same wavelength. The rest of the team haven't got a Scooby-Doo what they're doing. They haven't got the football intelligence to play Conte's position, formation. When Chelsea switched to a 3-4-3 after the Phil thumped them, they had 10 players that could play that formation. And what he did with Victor Moses, no one saw, but he did it, and they went. It's very well and good he wants to play that formation, but he's got to stop doing it because the players cannot be trusted to do it. We've seen it too many times now. They cannot do it. Whether they can't or they won't, it's one of the two. And it's not going to get any better. This has to change. And this is why Conte has to get some of the blame. I mean, well done for making a sub early and trying to correct it. But you've got to stop playing this formation. It's not working. And then, as always, I'll save the best to last. Mr. Birthday Boy this week. Mr.
I wonder who that was.
Who gets away once again, scot-free, with people blaming every single other thing apart from him.
Yep.
The PR team, once again, when we get a battering from Southampton, tried to bring out that thing to stop the Y word.
Yep.
Which is never going to happen. Never had, never was. And then 22 minutes into the game, the first thing Sky report, Spurs fans sing the Y word song, even though they were asked not to. Mm-hmm. It's never going to stop, whether you agree with it or you don't. It's not going to stop. And it's not going to stop like that. That's for damn sure. And you bring this out again after a stupid defeat to Southampton, who walloped us. Walloped us. We played a game today where Wolves can defend but can't score, and we can attack but can't defend. Role reversal.
What was the stat I gave you? What was the stat I gave you, Brian?
10% of Wolves' goals of the season came in that game. Yeah. They had 19 goals. They had 19 goals going in. They now got 21. And you know how bad things are when you're 2-0 down and a substitution is to take Doherty off and bring Romero on.
Emerson.
How Harry Winks stayed on the pitch for the full game, I have no idea.
Yeah, why? Like,
we are
where was Hyber?
Overplaying Son, overplaying Kane. We are a complete shambles. And the final thing I will say, because I know there's another super chat, and then we generally just have a quick chat about today and what happened, and then we'll start getting fans. I just want to talk not about the game. Rez and I were very lucky to meet some people today. I was going to say, this is where we are right now. The substitutions are coming on where Royale comes on for Blue and Doherty. That's how weak this team is.
Mhm.
And we think it's acceptable. And as I said, and I keep saying this, and it will be my closing thing, Daniel Levy has nothing to do with the performance. As soon as they cross the white line, he has absolutely nothing to do with the performance. However, he has everything to do with why they're crossing that white line and why they can put in that performance. Yes, you can blame the manager. Yes, you can blame the players. But once again, mediocrity is allowed to run through that team because we buy on the cheap. We buy late. We buy in a hurry. We don't buy where we need players in. So just remember, Daniel Levy has nothing to do with the performance, but he has everything to do with why they can put in that performance. So that's the beginning of the end of my rant. Let's just go through these super chats. Then we'll put on the link.
Yeah, we need
See
to know people's opinions on this.
What I think there's one thing I just wanted to say with this, because what we've got, there's been a number of this, and it's been going through a lot of our discussions, is Winks was shit, Sanchez was shit, this player was shit, that was player shit. Yeah, that's all valid, right? But for those of us who have identified where the major problem is, I would say this: when you sit there and talk about a player being shit and jump on that player's back over and over again, you're actually doing Levy's work. Okay? Because he will do anything to distract you from the real problem. So when you get a shit performance from a player, don't talk about that. Talk about why that player is on the pitch. Don't talk about his performance. Other than to say that was not a good performance, why is he on the pitch? And direct it at Levy. He is the major problem, right? The players are playing badly. They are failing, but their failure is not really their fault. They've been put in a position where they are expected to do more than they can do. A lot of them, right?
Yep.
So direct your ire at Levy. Don't keep jumping on the players' backs. I would suggest. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to criticize players. I might critique them, but I won't criticize them in those kinds of terms. I will criticize Levy for being the one under whose stewardship they've been brought into the club. Yeah, that's just a suggestion that I would make.
No, I mean, that's fair. Like, I completely understand where you're coming from there, Rez. Now, this super chat, I mean, just makes me sad. Like, what about the owners? This is what they're doing. They're just driving potentially young fans away. I mean, I don't want to read out, but as out of respect for Moondog, who once again has donated £5 to us, so thanks you and big up to that. I'm going to have to. He says, my grandson watched that and said, I'm not supporting them, Granddad. They're rubbish. I mean, that's devastating. Like, that's absolutely devastating. And it makes me think, if I was like, I think I was like 6 when I started supporting the club. If I was 6 now and seeing the performances we were putting in, like, I know my dad was a Tottenham fan and that, so I probably would have been, a Spurs fan eventually. But like, would I really want to support a team that plays this badly now? Like, I'd probably be more like just as likely to go and support Wolves themselves. Like I've no idea, honestly. I'm so glad I started supporting Tottenham like when I did. It's all I'm saying, and the fact that I'll never support anyone else. Like, but yeah, the owners are like that. Unfortunately, that's not the case for some like really young potential fans out there. I just hope Moondog, your grandson, doesn't become a gooner. He says, "What could I say? Yeah, well, what can you say? Like, and that's the most frustrating thing. Like, you can't argue like our case. Like, what can you say? Oh, we haven't won a trophy in the last decade, but we have a nice stadium, but we have good training facilities, but we got to Champions League final. I mean, we didn't do well in that final. We had to watch Kieran Trippier trying to cross a ball for 20 minutes, but small mercies. Huh? We had Van der Vaart. Oh, lads. I mean, having Van der Vaart was good, but like, fortunately, we didn't win any trophies with him or Modric or like any good player, even Harry Kane. Like, it's just criminal.
Harry Kane,
man. Like,
Jan Vertonghen, Moussa Dembele. The list can go on. So, just to talk a little bit. See, now, when I used to go to Tottenham, it used to be rock up, go to the ground, sit in my seat, watch the game, leave, go home. But thanks to this YouTube world opening up a whole amount of doors and obviously fellow streamers and people in the chat, it's become a very big social part of my life whilst I'm here. We go to the pub before the game and all meet up and chill and chat and have a laugh. We go to the game, we meet up, we go have a drink or whatever after, maybe go for a meal, which we've done on a few occasions. And you've got people like the Irish Hotspur, his best mate Sean, Ollie, Phil Brady, Dermot, and we had Sean Butler, Josh RG, me, Stel, Rez. Obviously, we had so many people. Ben Kaufman. We had so many people. It was such a great before, and then when we were in the stadium at the goal line bar with Ben and Grandpa singing all the songs and getting everything pumped. That part's always enjoyable and a great part of it. But the 90 minutes of football is just now soul destroying.
Yeah,
it's just soul destroying, and it's so hard to see where the light at the end of the tunnel is. It really, really is. Now, before we put the link out, let's just do David.
His
David
super chat. Thanks. Yeah,
Cheers,
big up
David.
for putting it in, man. No, he actually, start again. Whenever he's in the stream in the chat, I always notice that he always puts in super chats as well. So like, big up, David, and also like thanks for the money as well. And like, so I mean, you're an absolute legend. And, like, yes, you even actually appeared in our first fan show, I think. So like, you have that honor of being the first fan ever on our first fan show. So thanks a lot, man. And if you want to come in when we show out the link, feel free. Yeah, like, we'd love to have you back on again. So he says, I don't think formation tactics are the whole picture. Well, like, they're not.
No.
But they're certainly a massive part of the whole picture. Like, I mean, this is a huge picture we're talking about, and the formation and the tactics make up, a good piece of it. But I do agree, not all of it. Cole today, those players are not good enough in any formation and tactics. That's another part of the picture, David, that you've just hit on the head perfectly there. I mean, what's the point of having all these systems, all these great ways of playing that I'm sure Antonio Conte has, and we've seen in the past from all of his great teams, when he doesn't have the players to even understand how to do it. Like, he doesn't have the players that have it up here to, like, don't even have the mentality. They never mind the skills or the common sense to just do the basics. I mean,
the thing is,
it's
you know
a
what?
hopeless situation.
All of these players, apart from Winks, Kane, and Skip, have been at other clubs where they have done the basics. There is something else at play here. It's not physical. The reason, look, we all know this. Anyone who's played football to any level, or done any sport to any level, or has been in the military, knows that the reason you do drills is because
I'm just going bathroom. I'm back in 1 sec.
All right.
Is
that you're trying to form muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
So that you can do those things without thinking. That's why elite sport is so fast paced, because it's almost on automatic. There is something going on that is, and it's the yips, right? Our club has the yips. The yips is where a sports person or someone who does a job that requires a lot of skill suddenly loses it through usually fear, some kind of fear, right? It's very much an American term. Our club has the yips, or our squad has the yips, right?
I mean, we've probably had it for God knows how long at this point.
And we've had it for ages, and it just infects, right? One or two players can elevate themselves above it and still perform, but it's a rare sportsman that can live with the fear that can affect their performance.
Yeah.
The rest of them can't. They can do the basics. They can. They're just not, because they're terrified. Because the culture at that club is one of this overarching octopus squid-like figure at the top of it, who basically they cannot escape. Right?
Yeah.
This for me, and I'm almost convinced of it, is what drove Trippier out of the club. It's what drove Eriksen out of the club. It probably is what affected why Walker wanted to leave. Right? Because that octopus is up there causing problems for the whole club.
Yeah.
and that he's got to go.
Like, he
because
might
of-
as well have just chained. Yeah, I agree with you. He might as well have just chained Kane to the bloody to anything really in that training ground, because he just was so desperate not to let him leave.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Okay.
Jesus Christ, and what about gentlemen's agreements and everything? Sorry, Brian.
Yeah.
Before I go on, I just want to address this. Sorry, or bring up the super chat from Ben Kaufman, of course, a
Yep.
legend from Tottenham Tantrum Gold, and that is a nice profile pic. I have to say, amen. Amen. Also, congrats on having your own company as well. I didn't actually know he had his own company until like a few weeks ago.
Mm.
So it's fantastic. His own coffee company, and I do love of 1 or 2 cups of coffee in the morning. Like, he says, if the owners of this club had a quarter of the passion you boys had, big up for saying that, man, we'd be Champions League winners every year. You know what? I have a feeling we would. Not to big myself up too much, but we definitely would. Like, especially with Brian and Rez's passion. Like, being in this community is beyond special. Yeah, I mean, if just a few members of this great community, like, which I'm confident to say, like, takes up thousands of people just ran that club, we would have won multiple trophies at this point. I mean, it's just at this point, it's just getting to the point where it's unfair. Like why do these people have to do this to our own club, infest our club like this, and just bring this ridiculous toxic atmosphere, or at least
Absolutely.
not so much of the toxic atmosphere as just like a shitty mentality. Like, I don't know why, but they seem to not really care, to be honest, as long as their property is doing well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Dave Biscoe, said Trippier, wanted to leave because Levy was trying to sell him for 2 months before he actually left, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's that attitude. These people, you see, a lot of players play because they love the sport, right? I honestly believe that Levy, the way that he is, has drained that love for the sport from these players, because it's all so penny pinching, it's all so controlling, it's all so insidious what he does, the way he is, that any player who comes into this club who is not a phenom like Kane might happen to be, or is not a superstar like Lloris is, will suffer this. It doesn't matter who we buy in the transfer window. It doesn't matter if Conte gets the players that he wants, because as long as that squid is at the top of the organization, infecting everyone with his presence, we're going to keep going through this.
Okay, now, let's deal with Tin Man Super Chats. We've already got 7 people waiting, and the order will be my boy Bobby Kang from Toronto first. Barry, Phil, Grant, Nigel, Arthur, every man guy from EastEnders.
One person.
Hollywood Phil, Ave Master, whoever Steak and Chips is, I think it's Alexander Hilton. Then we've got David Fisco, and then we've got my boy Ryan. Now we're going to keep it because we've got till about midnight, or just after midnight, because I'm on my curfew unless you two carry on the show. Everyone is going to have 10 minutes, and we're going to try and keep it to 10 minutes. If the alarm buzzer goes, then it'll be final statements, because we've got a few people to get through. So let's deal with Tin Man Super Chat, and then we'll get Bobby on.
First of all, as always, Tin Man, thanks for putting in the super chat, and thanks for the cash you've after donating to the channel. Big up for that as well, and thanks for always being here in the chat as well. So he says, he asks, do you think Levy will back Conte in the summer? Quite simply, just put into one word: no. If not, and Conte walks, what next? We are more fucked than we are at the moment. If anyone thinks we're fucked now, oh my God. My days. Might as well be, if that happens, then we might as well be in a brothel. And I'm just leaving it at that.
The way to say this, listen, if we get rid of Conte, or Conte walks, we've had Mourinho, we've had Poch, we've had Conte. 3 out of the 5 probably elite managers. Klopp or Guardiola is not coming to here. The only way is down. The only way is down. But on that note, I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. Bring on my boy Bobby.
Bring him on.
And I will start the 10 minutes. Let me get the time up. You bring it up? I'll bring him on. Let's do it. Add to stream. Bobby, my brother, how are you doing?
Hey, fellas, how are you? Oh, shit.
We're good.
Well, not make this day any worse and remove the red.
Yeah, let's do that, Bobby.
My eyes are beginning to burn here.
Can't make this day any worse. What a
Your
dreadful
10 minutes
goalie,
is
man.
up, Bobby. What do you want to talk about, brother?
You know what? What is there not to talk about, Brian? What is there not to talk about right now? This is so disgusting and horrible. Now it's not even funny anymore. You know, I got friends of mine trolling me from pretty much every team. I have League 4 supporters trolling me. You know, I can't say anything back. I can't say anything back. I got nothing to say. It's so disgusting. First, and sorry, Rez. Hi, nice to meet you, buddy.
Hi,
And
Andy, Bobby.
I really enjoyed listening to you up there. You made some very good, valid points about everything, man. Spot on about everything there. And it's just like I said, so many people right now are pissed off. You see it in your comments. I'm fuming. I'm mad. I'm angry. Like Brian, you know what time it was here. You know, it's a 9 a.m. game for us. 7:30 in the morning, waking up the kids, feeding them and stuff, listening to them bitching, moaning. Dad, it's Sunday. It's early. All right, you don't want to watch the game? Go back to bed. Well, you know the little one. Of course, he's going to come down. And he's all jacked up. All right, Dad, I want to eat. I want to. I'm on. Say hi. Okay, there. Hello. And so, come on, lie down. Feed them everything, get ready, get all hyped up, sit down into the game, and 6 minutes in, wow, Lloris, greatest hit.
Yeah.
You know, that was a nice assist you got there to start the game. Too bad it's for the wrong fucking team.
You know,
Too bad the defenders just stood there.
so I've got to say, Bobby, very quickly.
Ben Davies reminds me why I don't want to see him on the field.
So Ben Davies, Hugo Lloris, like that first goal is right where Rez's seat is. And I don't know why we're doing this, but it's getting to the point where Hugo Lloris has this new thing where he has to fist everything. It's like he's playing volleyball and he's trying to spike everything. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
What's your thoughts, Bobby?
He's got to practice catching in practice there. You know, in training. That's it. Put your two hands around the ball. It's really not that hard. Jay can show you how to do it, my oldest. You know, he knows how to do it. He plays goalie sometimes. So but it wasn't even, you know what? I'm not even going to get mad at Lloris, though, because he has saved our ass so many times that I'm not going to get there and lose my shit on the guy for having one bad day at the office. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, that man has earned a bad day at the office at this point because of the amount of shit that he's had to save us through. Yep. He's allowed to have one blunder. Unfortunately, it was against a team that doesn't really score. But hey, we'll let you guys in because we're nice like that. We're a nice team, you know, like Jose said, you guys are really nice guys. You need to be a bunch of C's, but you're not. You're nice guys, you know, and it's that's what we are. Hey guys, you're not scoring. You're having a crappy you're having a crappy season, you know, you're struggling. Come on in.
It's Dr. Tottenham. Dr. Tottenham is still very much alive and kicking.
Yeah, come into our new fortress. Well, that quickly wore off. What was
Bobby,
it? 3
what stood out for you?
Calling it our fortress?
Anything stood out for you positively?
Sheesh. That's honestly, Brian, I can't believe you got me thinking. You actually got me thinking. No, I can't. Was there positives from this game? You know, Romero. He's okay. Sonny, I don't know what Sonny's doing all of a sudden. He stopped those runs. How many times did all of a sudden he play the ball back? I don't understand. Why were you doing that? Sonny's not known to do that. Kuleveski was doing that a little while ago. And it's like, is he training you, Sonny, now? Are you learning what to do from there? And it's maddening to me. And I was on earlier with the boys there from Spurs Related. And I even said to them, like, it's great. We brought in Kuleveski and Bentancur, and you guys touched on this and everything. But what did we bring them in for? To appease the fans, to shut up the handful that don't, fully look into all of this stuff, right? The ones that are just, like I said, happy with just the pure football end of it. They want to watch the game. That's it. They don't care about the business, transfers, nothing. Okay, we got a player. Yay, that's great. Woohoo! But we need to get the players where we need them, and we're not doing that. Like that again. That's our scouting department, man. What are you guys doing? Like, I don't care what you have to do. Go get Paul Mitchell, please, for the love of God. Go bring him back.
Yeah.
He's not coming back under Levy. He's not coming back under Levy.
That's the problem.
No one in the right mind really would like.
Come back, Brian. Common denominator, Mr. Levy. You know, and like I've said 1,000 times, I'll beat the same drum. Great businessman, not a football man, but there's something he's doing, obviously, in his micromanagement that's making people absolutely mad. You know, so where do you start, man? You got to start at the top of the food chain. You got to cut the head off the snake. And it's sickening that this guy still gets paid and wants more from the fans. He wants to fleece them more with the tickets, with the merchandise, with the product in there, the beers, the food, all that nonsense. And it's, what are you giving them on field? You're not filling the needs that we have. From the beginning of the season, again, we needed certain positions. We had a list. We didn't fulfill that list. Instead, we gave Juventus the money for 2 players that were fringe players so that they could buy the player that we really wanted. You go get Vlahovic. We'll take these 2 guys off you. This will keep our fans happy for now. We don't really need them, but they'll fit in. Like, the only reason we needed Bentancur now is because we dumped 3 deadwood midfielders. You know, but after seeing Winks today, I'm seriously debating if I'm sad to see Lo Celso go over Winks.
He played well against Barcelona.
You're watching, and you're like, nah, but you don't know what you're talking about. But I after seeing that today, he's just so painful sometimes. I'd rather see Lo Celso put me through pain and might have that moment of brilliance kind of thing, or get that free kick in at least. We don't have a free kick taker, and
yep.
Oh man, I really don't know anymore. This day sucks. Like, you
What's
screwed
Man
up
City next?
man. Sorry,
Man City next, Bobby.
Yeah, hey.
We're gonna suffer. We're gonna be in pain after.
I don't even want to think about the way that day is gonna start. You know, I coach.
I'm dreading it anyway,
and I have to go early in the morning. And I told the owner of the league that I won't be able to come in early. I have to come for my son's game, which is at 2. So we'll watch about the first 60 minutes of the game. Yeah, I'm not debating or telling her, no, don't worry, I'll be there at 11 a.m.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. Sorry, I'm on my phone. I can't even read these because I'm going to admit it. I don't have my glasses, and my old ass can't make any of this out. So if you're asking,
that's okay, man. Sorry.
Nice stuff, questions I can't answer.
Oh, I don't know what that what's that high screeching? Can anyone else hear that?
Yeah, I think it's just a bad connection.
Maybe feedback from the phone. Yeah.
Okay.
So lower. Is that better now?
Yeah.
It sounds better, Bobby. So you've got 2 minutes, 10 seconds left. What do you want to say in closing?
In closing, I just want to say, first off, how is Bob? What's the score?
Okay, so yeah, it's a good point. I can give a quick update. So the update I had from Kim this morning is thankfully, like, obviously he's had a big setback, and we're awaiting more details before we go public with what those setbacks are. But at one point we have released that they thought he had COVID. Yeah. We still haven't heard about that, but what I can say, he's awake. He's still on a ventilator, but not the medically induced coma. His oxygen dependency on the ventilator was at 70 or 75. Today it was at 30. And today I know he's been on WhatsApp and WhatsApping people and whatever. So at least he's on his phone and he's doing bits again. He was before he went back in the coma, not this Friday, the Friday before. They were working him hard because they thought he made great progress. So whether they were working him too hard and it caught up with him, so they're taking it easy with him. He's still he's stable. They keep saying this word stable, but he's had a couple of good days from that setback. So he's nowhere near where he was, but we're now clinging on for every day we hear a small positive. It's like something to cling on to and some momentum to build. So that's where we are with him.
Yeah, that's all you want to see.
Thank you for reminding me.
Good. So God bless him, and I'm sure, like myself, all your viewers here and everybody that's going to look in later and view in later, you know, they're going to send Bob their very best and hopes and prayers. So get well, Bob. You know, keep fighting, buddy.
Yeah.
So
that's,
Bobby,
we believe in you.
You know, that's a little bit of good news at least, Phil, to tap into this horribly depressing day. Otherwise, like, I don't know, man. How do we not look and point the finger at Conte a little bit here too? Because you're going with this system that's just not working and it hasn't consistently worked. So why do you keep forcing it on?
He's got nothing else he can do.
You know, if you're supposed to be this world-class manager, what are you doing?
He's got no
Like,
option.
okay, I recognize the
He's got
quick
no option.
change he made with Sessegnon, and yeah, okay, maybe that changed the game. But out of all players that he could have taken off instead of him, I don't know. He didn't look too poor to me.
Can I make a point on
doing a
that?
lot better than
Well,
somebody
it'll be
else.
very quick. It'll be very quick because we're at 10 minutes.
So very quickly,
Sorry,
it's
Rez.
got-
Rez wanted to say something.
very quickly, he's got no options. Even when he changed the system, it didn't get better. And do you know what's more thing? It didn't even get worse. It didn't change anything.
Nope.
Right? It's
Nothing happened.
basically right now I think that whatever Conte does, it's not going to work. And it's not because of Conte, it's because of the squad that's been built.
And we've seen that with 5 different managers now, Rez. So you're 100% right about that, because that's what it is. You have only a certain amount of tools to work with. You've changed the builder, but nothing's working. So come on now, like it's obvious what it is. The 2 denominators are the squad. Levy out. Love you guys. Come
See
on,
you later on, Bobby,
have a
brother.
great day. Okay. I'll
That's
talk
all
to you
right,
Bob.
later,
later.
Bob.
As always,
All the best.
big up.
Speak to you soon,
Take
brother.
care, boys. See ya.
Bye. So, just before we bring on Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil, Grant, everyone, EastEnders character, just want to say we got 125 people in the stream right now. We are last check 90 away from 4,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed,
Do it.
please give us a subscribe
Please do.
and help us hit that milestone.
You'd be a legend.
I am gonna bring in
I'll bring
Barry.
him in, it's fine.
You
There
bring
you
him
go.
in. Whilst you do
Legend
this,
himself.
I'm in dire need for a cigarette. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to be
Fair
back
enough.
within a few minutes. So I'll leave it to you two. Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil, Grant, your time starts now.
Okay.
All right.
How are we doing, boys?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get any it feels like it can't get any worse again. I mean, how many more times are we going to feel this throughout the season? Like, I mean, what's your opinion on it anyway? Do you think yeah, just what's your opinion, man? Because honestly, I'm not sure worse at this point.
The positives from today.
And now on to the negatives.
I got to sit in three seats today in 3 stands.
Fair enough,
Three
yeah.
different stands,
Small
yeah.
mercies, man, yeah. Fair play.
So I sat in my seat in the north stand, and
Yeah.
I sat in next to Rez in the west stand, and then we went and joined everyone in the south stand for the second half.
Sounds like a good day out, in fairness.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like I've let myself down because I didn't go in the east stand. I could have had the full 9 yards and got the the whole thing. But hey, never mind.
Yeah.
There was plenty of seats that I could have chosen from. So there was only 56,000 there. So I guess well, the other positives. Meeting all the guys. So obviously Brian, and Ben was saying about the YouTube community and everything else, and there Brad Hotspur, Josh the Tottenham guy, Chris Agambar, Ben Kaufman, Dermot from Tottenham Tantra Gold, Irish Hotspur. Who else? We Are Tottenham TV, Stelios from Tottenham Away. Me and Rez from Chelsea Spurs.
Exactly, yeah.
And
nice.
LJ and Gaza as well. We almost had the full
LJ and Gaza, the full shebang. So yeah, I guess if you wanted to do if you're a fledgling YouTube channel, today would have been the day to do a stream. Right?
Exactly, yeah. And just a big Avengers Endgame style, like crossover, it's been fantastic.
Yeah. And sorry, Sean Butler.
Yes, I saw him there as well. Yeah.
Butler, yeah.
And also, Sean Butler has some very good camera work because it sounded like Sean, but it didn't look like Sean. And he said, "Oh, everyone says I look a lot fatter than I do on my YouTube channel," and I can confirm that is correct. The other thing,
I didn't expect to hear that.
I didn't hear you say that to him.
No, he said that to me, and I said, "Yes, Sean, I agree." What can I say? I'm not going to lie.
Oh, Barry, your brutal honesty is fantastic, lads.
Yeah.
And then Yori was there as well. He'd come over with his family to watch the game. So apologies to Yori for watching that shower of shit. He was getting a picture with Ben from We Are Tottenham TV. So obviously I had to do a bit of photo bomb Barry, and so it'd be interesting, Yori, if you're watching, to see if I managed to correctly photo bomb Barry you. if anyone is wondering, there's two things about Danny Kyriacou.
Oh,
So first of all,
I'm
his
interested.
trainers are messy tonight. He has confirmed that his trainers were messy to me because
Oh, I thought you said he was training with Messi tonight. I was like, hang on. So he's booked a flight to PSG Stadium and he's going to train with Messi. How did he get that?
his trainers are not tidy in his bedroom.
Can I just interject? Danny, if you're watching, we're all disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Shame.
Mm.
And the second thing, and I almost want to say this, that he is the Buble of YouTube, of the Tottenham YouTube community, because there's a bit of a man crush going on. I'm sure we've all got a bit of a man crush on Danny Kyriacou. But he smells divine. And Brian and Rez can confirm this. He smells absolutely divine.
He smells.
Yes.
That's why I call him Angel Cakes.
Wow.
So those are the positives. Sitting in 3 seats.
They're good positives, man.
Seeing the YouTube community. In terms of the negatives,
Quite a lot of them, isn't there?
Yeah. So there was talk that on the way home that potentially we would give up our season ticket. We would go and watch a local non-league side because we wouldn't have VAR. We wouldn't have players that didn't give a shit. And we also, more importantly, wouldn't have Levy or Enoch because we could go to a game and enjoy it. Exactly, Cody Mack. You've probably clipped that. Yeah, probably clipped it. It's very true, though. We needed you there actually when we were doing some songs. And actually, my other positive is the Wolves fans singing "Do."
Yeah, really.
And me, Brian, Rez was singing it with the Wolves fans. So
that's class.
Obviously they weren't singing "Do" Danny Kyriacou, but we made it so that it was sounded like they were singing.
Harry, I just got a message from Danny. He wanted me to ask. I just need to read this out. Ask Barry if he'll marry me. Marry me. There you go. So then,
No, I'm definitely not a patch on Mrs. Kyriacou. So, so do you know what, Nick? I just want to say something. You mentioned about the season tickets, and I said this today. I urge every single fan in that stadium to keep their season tickets.
Yes.
Especially if you Levy out.
Yes.
And the reason I say it is twofold. One of the reasons is because you've got to stay in there. You've got to stay in there, because if you go, people that are just happy to get the season tickets will be in there, and Levy out will be diluted.
Yep.
It will be diluted. And the other reason is obviously, I've completely forgotten the other reason. There is another reason, but I've completely. Oh yeah, people work. Do you know what? You work damn hard. Everyone who's had season works damn hard and pays damn good money, because Tottenham is their release. It's that they have a hard that week at work, or they're working at home. It's their day out, and you shouldn't have to suffer, because one day these will go, and when they go, season tickets will go through the roof, and it's going to take years for you to get it back.
Yeah.
So please, if you Levy out, please get them. And before we do that, there's a very big super chat in here from William Kelly, and I just want to address it because it deserves the respect. Thank you, William Kelly, for the 100 Australian dollars. And this is what William I talk Kelly, about. And I use William Kelly all the time. Me and my son Luke were watching the match in the early hours of the morning. Luke turns to me when we're 2-0 down and asks me, what was the last time Spurs won a final? And I said 21 years. In his face, I said it all. As I responded, let's go to bed. Please don't be a Spurs fan. This is what it's become. This is what it's unfortunately become. William lives in Australia, and this, like I said, early in the morning. This is why I get so frustrated. This is why.
This is heartbreaking. It's not just frustration; it's fucking heartbreak.
But you know what? It's lovely though, because he's donated so much to us, and he always comes in with kind words. He's a regular on all the channels. See him a lot in Irish Hospital. He's just a legend, and it is heartbreaking, Rez, to see legends like him let down by the club all the time. I mean, yeah. Anyway, I think we should. I hate to interrupt you like that, Red, as well. Just want to let you know, but
No,
like,
no,
I just
yeah,
wanted to
all
read out a super chat because it has to be read. Like, oh my god, after an unbelievable donation like that, he says, "Me and my actually, hang on, has Brian
I've
already
just
read
read
it
it.
out? Oh,
I've
for
just
flip's
read it.
sake!
That was
Sorry.
very good, Adam. Well done. But yeah, William Kelly knows how I feel about him. This is unfortunately the
You can
thing,
tell
isn't
my
it, Nick?
mental health has gone to shit this week. But anyway,
This is life of a Spurs fan, mate. Life of a Spurs fan. Nick, how long have you had your season ticket?
This is only the first year, so
What a time to have it, eh? What a time!
what a time to be alive.
yeah.
No, look, it's just the general, it's just the general chat in the car on the way home, and I probably won't, but because I am Levy out and he needs to go. I don't even think he was there. We couldn't
Oh, he
see
was
him.
there.
Oh, you saw him, did you?
Yeah, Rez and I were extremely close to him. Like he was above us, but to the right. And I zoomed in on my camera just to make sure it was him. Yeah, he was there. He's always there, apart from when he's in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
But
to me, there's no point expecting anything anymore. Because even if you expect shit, they exceed your expectations because it's even worse. I think, like I said, while you're off, Brian, the positives were really actually, flipping it around is obviously the YouTube community, and that was the positive from today, and that's what I'm taking, and like I think Ben said earlier, the passion of what if they had the passion of how we did, then we'd be winning everything. Great British Bake Off, X Factor, Britain's Got Talent.
It ruled the world. Like, how about that? Like, take the whole.
For me, it was a pleasure and honor to meet a lot of the guys in person.
Yeah.
And I think there's no point talking about the game because we all know how crap it was, and we all know how bad it is, and we all know whose fault it is. So
it's a good point, actually. Yeah,
exactly. And on that note, Nick, the 10 minutes has gone.
Cool.
So it's always a pleasure, Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil,
Oh
Grant.
yeah, sorry, I forgot your name was actually Nick. I should have remembered that. Sorry. It was like there's just one name on the site, so it threw me off. Like I thought, Barry, I know he was like legend. It turned out Nick, legend. So I mean, you're legend either way, so it's fine. But thanks for coming on. Yeah, great as always.
Thanks a lot, Nick, brother. I'll speak to you soon. Levy out. Every day is Levy out day. So.
Absolutely.
It's time to bring on the next person. I'll bring them on. We have, he's back from Hollywood. We have Phil Latif. So welcome, Phil. Long time no speak, buddy.
Himself.
Your 10 minutes is beginning now.
Well, I think I've got away with it today. I think I'm the luckiest person because I didn't see any of the game today because obviously I was travelling home. But
no, you are the luckiest person. I mean, there's like no think about it. Like you're just lucky.
Yeah, but when you get your first internet signal after 15 minutes and it comes up at 2-0 down, you're like, this ain't happening. I've obviously seen the goals now, and do you know what? It's like part of me wants to blame Conte, but we go back to it. You can't polish a turd, can you? It's like what does the guy do? It was fundamental that we got in a right wing back. By the looks of it, we didn't really even look. Okay, we dabbled with Traore and stuff, but it's just right across the pitch, right across that squad. I mean, it was when we got to the Champions League final, we were aging and needed some incentive then. What was that, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's, I spoke to Kuva afterwards and I'm like, who was your man of the match from Tottenham? And he was like, bloody hell. He couldn't pick a player. Probably Bentancur was the best one. But from what I've seen, I suppose if you want another positive, we only lost 2-0. Because it could have been, it could have been 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, Phil, you bring up the right back situation, and you know what? I kind of got roped in to say we desperately need a centre, a cam, and then a lot of people, correct, said that Conte doesn't really play with that. He gets his creativity from the wing backs, and I could see that. I didn't see that at the beginning, but I could see that after. And how we haven't addressed this right back issue. I mean, since Kyle Walker, we've actually downgraded every single one. And I'm not joking. I make a bold statement now. Serge Aurier would have fucking flown in this system. He would have been such a better option. I mean, how have we neglected this once again?
And we were all happy when we
Yeah.
Go on, Phil.
No, I was just going to say again, it's another ridiculous question because you're like, how the heck, if it's like we've got a big long tube and we've got a massive hole where the right back should be, and we go, do you know what? Let's fix the little pinprick hole further up front, and you're like, it just, again, yes, you're missing some players, so possibly once Dyer comes back, he'd slot into the middle, but all that means is Romero then is at the right centre back, which ultimately means he's covering for the wing back. But I'm if I'm honest, I'm fed up with hearing Emerson was brought in as a right back, not a right wing back. You play football, for Christ's sake. It's not like we're suddenly saying to Hugo next week, right, against Man City, you're playing up front, and then we're slating him for not being able to score an overhead kick or anything. This is a guy that plays right wing back that surges forward a little bit. He's had a few seasons in the Spanish league where apparently he looked okay, but it's just, you look at either of them and you're just like, what do you do? I genuinely don't know what you do. I think I was talking with Stelios last night, and they were like, what if you played Sessegnon over there? And you're like, another guy out of position to try and mask a hole that's been there for, well, as I think as Brian said, since Kyle Walker's gone, there's been a problem at right back.
Yeah.
It's just beggars belief. It really does.
There's a great comment by Andy Lloyd there. Actually, he says,
"Okay, just to tackle Bryce because it's up here. Bryce, what's up, brother? Just to let you know, today there wasn't. We were going to do a sit-in, but we just couldn't get the numbers at too short notice. But what we were able to do is get a few banners in different sections of the South Stand at the grounds. So I'll send you a few of the pictures, Bryce, via WhatsApp. Of the banners were out for a bit. A lot of people looking at them and whatever. But you know what? That South Stand was emptying, and we've tried this. We've tried this so hard. We've done this, and don't get me wrong, it will happen. We will get something in the ground, and there was another protest outside the ground. But do you know what? It's just how many more of these performances before it really takes serious effect. So just to answer Bryce's, and then what's Andy Lloyd's comment that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, so I don't know. Do you read them, Adam, or can I read it?
You can read it.
Levy got Paratici in just so he could abuse his Juventus discount card. We seem to be getting players in who are available rather than players we need. So what else is new? You know what I mean? I'm not having a go at Andy. I'm just saying, what else is new? He's done this for 22 years coming up. It boggles the mind that he continues to do this, Anyway,
he doesn't care anymore.
There was the report the other day. I think I sent it to you, Brian, and it was basically Paratici is focused on buying youth players and out of contract. Now, the out of contract I kind of get if you're going to make it worth their while. So, Kessie now, you're going to have to pay different odds to how you would have paid if we got him in January. But will we make that step up? Not a chance. And then the youth, okay, again, makes sense. But what's the point then of having a youth academy? We've got a whole heap of players there that would put in way more effort than the trash that was out there today, but they don't get a look in. So what's the point of going to buy another bunch of youth players that aren't going to play and just going to be there? It's like the whole philosophy at Tottenham just doesn't make any sense. And it just stinks of it's about money and profit, not about glory. And you can dress it up in whichever way you like, but this is going to turn out to be another season. And anyone who sits there thinking we're going to go and win the FA Cup is not on this season. Not a chance. I don't know where at the moment I'm looking at the fixtures thinking I don't even know where our next win's coming from, let alone an FA Cup win.
Exactly.
No, you're right. And do you know what? That article, Phil, that you sent me, it smacks of we're already come to the realization that Champions League might not happen. So we've got to come out now and say why we're not spending big. We've already got to shell 50 million out for Romero. And Paratici isn't known for developing youth.
No.
Or finding youth and doing it. That's Louis Campos. I keep saying it time after time. I just, it's all coming out. It's all part of the bullshit production that is the Levy tenure. I just don't even know. I don't even know what to say. What's your thoughts on Son? Needs a rest? Can we rest him?
He's just completely and utterly off form. I mean, let's put him. If he was at Man City at the moment, he would not be anywhere near the first team because they would have enough players that could step in. Your Silvers, your Mahrez, your Grealish. I don't know the rest of them, but there was enough players. Whereas with us, you're like, if you leave him out, it's like. It's kind of that hope is if we keep pushing him, he might just recover or, return to form. But he's so far off it and been off it for such a while. There's just no spark anywhere. I looked, when the team came up, I was literally just getting on the plane and you're looking at it going, how are we scoring goals today? Where are the chances coming from? And it just baffles me because the two key places are your two wing backs. And I get he had to make the change quickly, but again, even that one, that's possibly one that I would have questioned. Would Sessegnon not have been better to have stayed at left back than Davis? I mean, that's two mistakes in the week now for Davis.
Yep.
It's just poor. And I do get you can't get ready for individual errors like that, but we absolutely blew that against Southampton. And yeah, Southampton were fantastic. I can't take anything away from them, but when you go 2-1, a top four side, when they go 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go, we're playing at home, they win the game. Tottenham, we don't. We managed to lose it. We lose it, we didn't even manage to scrape the draw. We didn't go, do you know what? This guy there, we've given him the freedom of the park and he's just putting balls in our box. Let's keep an eye behind us. Nope. We just sat and went, do you know what? And it goes back to that motto, doesn't it? It's that version of insanity, doing the same things and expecting different results. Correct. We've had 21 years of doing the same thing. And guess what? We've won absolutely bugger all.
Yeah,
Came close and then drifted off. And we are so far off a solid. Even if we manage to scrape into the top four this year, which is no more happening than we're going to win the FA Cup. Can you imagine us playing Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid or a PSG next season in the first round games? Jesus,
I dread to think what would happen. Dread to think it, man.
Rip us to pieces.
So we were actually saying, go on, Ray. Sorry, buddy.
Teams like that would rip us to pieces like a wet paper bag. They'd destroy us. That's what Man City are going to do to us, right? They are going to utterly annihilate us.
Absolutely.
And we have,
Sunday.
yeah.
Absolutely. I'm taking it's going to be Sunday, but it's at the moment. Would I take a 3-0? Do you know what? I think I'd bite your hand off for 3-0.
That's actually, that just shows the state that we're in at the minute.
Which is just, it's
there we go. Phil, any final thoughts? Because the 10 minutes is up, buddy.
Honestly, no. I guess like we do. We're just ever hopeful that Conte can do something with this rabble, and the hope is that they can improve it in the summer. But I would say don't expect anything but disappointment this season, because if you do, then you're mad.
Yeah.
Well, Phil,
what a sorry statement to finish on, but
it's sad but true, though, Phil.
But Phil, I'll give you a call tomorrow. We'll have a catch up, buddy, and thank you for coming on.
No worries, guys.
Thanks, Phil. Great as always.
See you later on.
Right.
And just before we deal with Tin Man Super Chat, and then we're going to bring on Ave Master, Mr. Miles, another protester to come on. Lapis82 put a comment in about the South Stand, about making it like the yellow wall and Anfield at the Kop. The reason we can't get flags in, and we're doing this very, very carefully, is the club, the board have decided no flags.
Yeah.
Any chance of creating any kind of atmosphere in that stand the South lower is incredible, but trying to get that stand to be a wall of noise is becoming very, very hard, unless it's a Chelsea, an Arsenal, whatever, a big game. It's really becoming a problem. And what I feel they should have done, they missed a glaring opportunity to say to the Shelf side and the Park Lane, listen, we want you guys in here. and to fill that stand up. Because if you remember Old White Hart Lane, a loss of it was from there, and they missed a golden opportunity. But getting the flags in is quite hard, but I think there'll be more and more coming. So let's do the great Tin Man super chat. Adam, you want to give it a read?
Before you do that, Brian, can I just there was one aspect of Lapaz's comment that I wanted to address,
Yeah.
where it says not that our players deserve it. Our players do deserve it, Lapaz. They're not playing badly because they don't care. Or no, that's not true. They are playing badly because they don't care, but they don't care because they've been made not to care. Right? No football. It is rare. I mean, we name me a player that has publicly said I don't actually like football. The only one I can think of is Benny Asuakoto, and he was honest about it. But he always gave his word. Most players want to play this game. They are mad for this game, right? On our stream when we had Mickey Hazard, it was obvious how much they love playing it. It's obvious with the passion they have. They do deserve that kind of support. They don't care at the moment because we've got a leeching everything that is good and beautiful and pure and wonderful about football. The thing that made us all fall in love with football. He is leeching it out. And so we can't blame these players for feeling like that. They've got to work with the son of a bitch, right? We're having our joy sucked out of us by him, and we don't even have contact with him every day. They do. Yeah,
correct.
This is why they do deserve it. They don't play like this on purpose. I'm sure of it. They play like this because they have had it sucked out of them. Really, that's what I think.
That's a sad reality of it. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to Tin Man Super Chat. Thanks so much for it. Also, I mean, like, Tin Man is also another fellow who's always putting in Super Chats almost every single stream and is a huge supporter. So thank you so much for that. He says, actually, he asks, do you think there was any truth in the 3 billion takeover bid rumors from a US firm? I think there was, I mean, with the amount of people reporting on it, I think that something like may have happened, something may have even been discussed at the very least. Whether there was an actual proper bid and whether it was rejected is a different story entirely. I mean, if you ask me, if you ask me, I would just like go through as many sources as you can and cross-reference, and then you'll get a version of the truth. But it's only a version at the same time. We can't be sure what happened behind the scenes, to be honest with you, lad. He says, and if true, how could they say no? One word, greed.
Well, yeah, I mean, the bid was apparently 3 billion and he wants 3.2. So there's a reason for him to say, nope, you didn't hit the figure I wanted. But what I'm hoping, whether this was true or not, and you know what, it was only really by one source. So I don't know how credible it is. It may be an interest as opposed to a bid. But I'm hoping what this will do, whether it's fake news, whether it's maybe a big thing coming or speculation, I'm hoping this will wake other billionaires up that may be lurking in the background thinking, well, maybe there's something at Tottenham and it might be a call to action to bring on some other serious candidates, because this just can't continue. This just cannot continue. So we're going to crack on. I'm going to bring Ave Master on and start the clock, but then I just need to quickly go to the bathroom again. That curry, bloody hell. So yeah, I'll just bring Ave Master in and say hello to him. What's up, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Good to have you back on.
You're right.
I'm going to be back in 2 minutes, brother, but your 10 minutes is starting right now.
All right.
Shoot away if you want to rant, if you want to rave, or just want to depressingly say how shit today was, firehead, man, because, I mean, I'm lost for words now, and I think so.
There is only one word that I can say right now that will not start me to just outright go on a rant. That's the word disappointed.
Yeah.
It's the word disappointed. I do not, anyone who has seen me on the pre-match pump-up shows, I go there, I've been there twice. Every single time, I'm all smiles, I'm all very much positivity.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Not today.
Jesus.
God.
I understand though.
Look, genuinely, I have nothing positive to say. I love the idea of bringing positivity to Spurs. I want to bring positivity to the community. I fucking can't. I can't. I'm sorry about my language, but I can't.
Oh no, you're fine, man.
Yeah, like
But like it's like the positivity has just been drained out of us since Wednesday, and it's probably not going to stop because we're up against City next. So like, is there any hope for us?
hope, hope. I hope we don't get 5-0'd. That's what I'm gonna say.
Same. Yeah, that's all we can hope for. I think at this point.
I hope we don't get 5-0'd.
Hope left town years ago.
Oh no, seriously. I look. I had a glimmer. I had the glimmer of hope when Conte came in and went. I was like, yes, we're gonna get some shit done. In October of 2021, we're finally gonna fucking get shit done. No, and again and again, Levy has done his bullshit that he's done for the past 21 fucking years. And I apologize about my language. It's gonna be heavy. I'm just gonna say it outright. Yeah, I have 10 minutes to say as much anger as possible. Yeah, every single question, almost every single question. Some of them are to do with other things, yeah. But every single question that is to do with what's wrong with anything that has like the basic idea of what's wrong with Tottenham, one answer. It can be two different words, but it's always one answer. ENIC or Levy.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. Nothing else. That and the players are in the team. Reason being the players are in the team though is because of ENIC and Levy.
Yeah, because they bring them in.
It is this team that we have here is a depleted version of the Poch team, which is outdated. It was dated at 4 or 5 years ago, not in 2022. Not when you've got Man City, who have got the greatest team in the world. Not when you've got Chelsea. Not when you've got Liverpool. Not when you've got Real Madrid, Ajax, all those fucking teams who have class players. We lost against a team that lost 1-0 against Arsenal, which had a fucking red card on their team.
Exactly.
And it wasn't a 1-0 loss. It wasn't a 1-0 loss that was close. It wasn't a 0-0 that was close. It was a 2-0 loss. It was a 2-0 loss, and it was a dominant 2-0 loss. Mm-hmm. That Southampton game, we deserved to lose. That Wolves game, we deserved to lose. I was sitting there right next to a Chelsea supporter today.
Yeah, oh, no.
At his house.
Oh, shit. So unlucky, man.
Yeah. Next to his son, who's a Brentford supporter. And the Brentford supporter was laughing. The Chelsea supporter, oh my god, he didn't tell me this until afterwards. He had filmed videos of me screaming at the TV with all my fucking lungs. Yeah, with those videos was all of the anger of I think every Spurs supporter who has been Levy out since 2001 or 2000. I can't remember. Yeah, all of their anger was in my lungs, was in my body, shooting at that TV. The only reason I did not break that TV was because I was at his house.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he's a Chelsea boy. And he was also a hardened Chelsea boy. He'll kick my ass any day. Yeah.
Jeez.
If I did that, so let's put into perspective. Yeah. We have not won a trophy since 2008, and that 2008 win. Yes, everyone talks about. Oh, it was a trophy. It's a trophy. Oh, here, there, and everywhere. It was a lucky win. It was a lucky win.
Yeah.
Our lot. So everyone talks about Levy and his one trophy win. Yeah. All you Levians, listen up. Our last owners were the first European Cup winners in an English team. The league winning team had signed like 15 cups under their name before they chose to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Levy has 1 cup under his name, a lucky 1 cup under his name, and is haggling to sell the fucking club. He is hated by at minimum half our community. He is hated by the people who are true Spurs supporters. If you are not Levy out, and I'm going to say this outright, if you are not Levy out, you are not a true Spurs supporter. Because trust me, you do not believe in success for our club.
Even Alan Sugar had 2 trophies. Got 2 trophies.
And he nearly bankrupted the place. Let that sink in, people.
Oh, he saved us from bankruptcy as well. But he was a shit
Went
owner.
Full circle.
And he was a shit owner, and we still got 2 trophies under him.
How fucking dare those Spurs supporters after the transfer window who said it's hard to get a person in. Who the fuck says it's hard to get people in the January window? It wasn't hard for Newcastle. It wasn't hard for Everton. Brentford still got fucking Christian Eriksen. I would have taken Christian Eriksen back under this fucking team.
Villa
Yeah.
brought in 5 players. 5.
One of them was Coutinho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine how good he would have been in this squad.
The Barcelona deal was horrific when it came to the Adam Traore thing. That whole Traore we had him at the start of that transfer window. We could have just gone 20 mil.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be lucky, 25 mil. Come in. There you go. We've got a right wing. Or if he doesn't want to play right wing back, we've got a person that can swap with Lucas Moura, swap with Pep Højbjerg. Yeah,
Exactly.
The Louis Diaz would be a somewhat good substitute or a first team player for Winks, for Skip, for Reguilon. Even fuck it, may as well be for Davies as well, because Davies played pretty shit today, didn't he? Yeah. The only good players in our team as of right now are Kane, Son, Lucas on a good day, and Romero, and sometimes Højbjerg, and sometimes Skip.
And Lloris.
Everyone else, and I'm sorry, I apologize, Lloris as well. The fact that everyone else in our team is wearing a Spurs shirt is a disgrace to this club's history, it's a disgrace to this club's passion, and it's a disgrace to the club's supporters. It is an insult to all of us.
Yeah, it's just a joke. Like, I mean, it's like they're laughing at us in a way. I know they're probably not laughing at us, but I mean, they just don't care. Like, they don't care. That's a fact. Which is why they bring in these subpar players who can't even do the basics sometimes. I'm like a broken record saying on that side. Can't even do the basics, especially on a bad day. And then, as a result, we get results like this where we can't even score a goal against a team that on paper are a mid-table side, while we're supposed to be fighting for top 4. Makes no sense.
Look, if you asked me 2 or 3 weeks ago, are we going to get top 4? I would have said it's a possibility. Now, it's a fantasy. It's not happening. I'm sorry. I'm going to be probably literally. Yeah.
You've got about 1 minute. You've got about 1 minute left.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So I don't know what I don't know what I'm going to say now. Yeah. Like, all I can say is there is one initial. It's not Conte. And anyone that says it's Conte's fault, piss off. The only thing that Conte got wrong today. Yeah. The only thing that is wrong with Conte at the moment is the fact that he should have played a 3-5-2. That's it.
Yeah, that's our best formation. I think that's our best formation. Like, Brian Arden thinks the same thing. Like, why is he not playing it?
After the Southampton game, we should have swapped. Yeah. Yes, maybe it was worth at least one more glimmer of a chance of a try.
I think that's probably what it was. I think it was like, right, it didn't work, but maybe I got the personnel wrong, so let me try it with other people, and it still didn't work.
Yeah, yeah.
That sums it up perfectly, Ronnie.
Yeah. I'm pretty burnt out. Like,
I mean, I think your 10 minutes is. Oh yeah, it's 30 seconds. Brian just told me, but like, I mean, if you want to end it early, then fine. Because like what you said is honestly, it's just been fantastic. And you know what? It's kind of been inspiring what you said, man. Because you just said it so well, and it's fact though, but it's true, and it's like might knock some sense into some people as well who have been on the fence, like, and it's like, and who are. Yeah.
I want to ask one question to everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, 2 questions. Let me have these 2 questions. Yeah. First question is
I'm back just in time to say buzz up, but carry on.
I have 2 questions. Yeah. First question to everyone in this chat and everyone that's listening to this. Yeah. Would you have taken top anything, Champions League football, and or maybe a league with the amount of money that we would have kept? Would you have taken it in White Hart Lane or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? I will say White Hart Lane.
White Hart Lane.
Because White Hart Lane has a name that is the heart of Tottenham. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is not Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is an NFL stadium. Because they don't give a shit about this football team. They give more of a shit about the NFL teams, about the live shows. And the second question is, I can't fucking remember. Would you? Where this is it? Sorry. would you be as happy as you guys who are Levy and all that and happy that we still have Levy? Would you guys be as happy if you're in my shoes today when I got laughed at by a fucking Brentford supporter? A Brentford supporter.
Wonderful times.
Mhm.
Wonderful times, but it's the reality. Ave, I'm sorry I missed all of it, mate, because of bloody Virgin / Levy, whichever one you want to blame. Conspiracy theories are out. But Ave, I'll give you a chat during the week.
Not you, Ave. I'm showing the middle thing to it's Aaron's comments. Sorry, just in case anyone was confused.
It says Aaron Duve has been blocked. Oh, okay, cool.
Never, ever. But Ave, it's always a pleasure, brother, and I'll WhatsApp you during the week,
Yeah.
my man.
You've been fantastic.
Absolutely.
That was great. We'd love to have you on as much as possible, man. That was brilliant.
Take care.
Yeah. Thank you guys for letting me go over a little bit.
Oh, you're welcome.
No worries. Now, somehow in the back end, it's all got muddled, but it's going to be Steak and Chips, Alexander Hilton next, then David Bosco, and Bisco even, and then my boy Ryan. So I'm going to bring in Alexander Hilton right now.
Hello.
How you doing, Alexander?
I'm
How you
good.
doing, buddy?
Well, not really.
Good,
With
good.
the result, and my voice is kind of destroyed, to be honest.
So yeah, your 10 minutes has started now. Shoot, my man, shoot.
People criticising Lloris, he didn't have that bad of a game because he had 3 attackers in front of him when the ball came in. There's we played 5 at the back. There's 5 defenders. They all stand still, and Lloris has to make 3 saves all at once. And the man of the match was Bentancur.
Okay, so
Yeah.
with Lloris, Alex, what I will say, you're right. He made the 3 saves, but this new thing, or not new thing, it's become a common thing with him, where he's just fisting it out to dangerous areas as opposed to palming it away or catching it. It's become as detrimental as his distribution with his feet, don't you think?
Well, the shots were to the left of him, to the top corner. So how is he supposed to catch it?
Okay, catching. In this instant, for this goal, you might have a point. But fisting it, he could palm it away for a corner or palm it out. But this reliance to fist it out into the area. Yes, on top of what you said, obviously you've got the defenders that should be able to tackle it. But it's come to the point where this fisting thing has become a bit of an issue, don't you think?
Yeah. But he had, but he also had the power of the shot from the forwards constantly.
Yep. Don't get me wrong. He made a couple of great saves. It could have been a lot more. It could have been a lot more without him. This has just been an issue. So, what do you reckon about this 3-4-3? All right, he went back to a 5 today, but what formation do you reckon would get the best out with the players we got? So, if you were in Conte's shoes, what formation are you going?
You okay, man?
5.
It's okay, man.
I'm thinking at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. Think away.
So, but let's try and make it. Do you reckon the 3-4-3 this is default? Do you reckon that?
No, because it just lost to Southampton and Wolves, so we have to change it up.
Okay, so try 3-5-2, which I think is the best one to play myself with the team we've got, which he obviously changed quickly.
Yeah,
What
but
about? Go on.
yeah, but with the 3-5-2, we don't have the depth because we'll be playing Winks, Højbjerg, and Bentancur. Højbjerg's been overplayed. Winks is just Winks, and Bentancur is just in a good run.
That I agree with. I mean, one thing we haven't spoken about today, I mentioned a lot, and I think a lot of people do mention. It just goes to show when he's not available to play how vital Ollie Skip is in this team, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to the point he is such a colossus for us, and you can see it when he's missing. So let's go another route. If you were transfer window, if you had the chance to brought players in, realistically, where would you have gone?
Centre back.
Really?
Okay.
Or, because is this for the summer or January?
January.
January just gone.
Probably a right back who can play centre back.
Yes, that's a good shout. I mean, like, we now know that right wing back is such a priority position. Like, I myself, like, didn't know just how bad the situation was there, because I thought like Royale was showing promise and he'd eventually like grow, but like after that performance against Southampton, okay, it's one game, but like I'm worried now, and of course Doherty didn't do any better today. So yeah, it's a good shout, man.
Would you start Harvey White, a right wing back,
Not yet. I think it's too early for him.
Ooh,
or
that's,
Lavman?
The guy is still developing as a central midfielder. You want to confuse him by making him play right wing back? No, that's
Yeah.
a bad. That's a bad shout.
Listen, you got Patsovsky or whatever, however you say his name. You got Lavinia. They said Kulusevski, but I can't see how Kulusevski can play right wing back. He hasn't got the pace. He hasn't got the pace. And this is somewhere that really, it's an area, like we just said before, where you thought a central attacking midfielder would have been the one. And I was on We Are Tottenham TV saying, Coutinho, I want. And we've seen what he's doing at Villa. He started off rightly, but people rightly corrected me. And I'll admit when I'm wrong. He does not play that kind of creative free man to create stuff. And he uses those wing backs. And it's essential that we get this covered, and how it was overlooked this window. We spent 27 days trying to find a right winger to convert to a right back rather than just going and signing a right back. Who would you, if you could sign a right back right now, or a right wing back, Alex, who would you go for?
Does it have to be realistic, or
It would give you realistic, and then your mind blowing never going to happen.
realistic? Bring back Kyle Walker-Peters.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a good shout.
And unrealistic Trent.
Mate,
love it.
No, do you know what? And I play this game with one of my other mates where we go through a thing, and we go through the Premier League and say, if you could sign one player for your team right now, we go through the Premier League. And for me, obviously, it's never going to happen. But to me, he's the best right wing back in the world. It's incredible. And the thing is, they know he's coming through. Liverpool, when they find these youngsters, they develop them the correct way and bring them through when they're ready. I mean, it's never in a billion years going to happen. Kyle Walker-Peters, he started to play well. That's more realistic. But this is just another thing where we're buying prospects or potential rather than ready-made. It's a shambles, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah. And you can also play Kulusevski in the midfield if you lack in depth.
Yeah.
But what,
You can even play
alongside
him at
who?
centre attacking midfield.
He'll be alongside with Bentancur and Skip or Højbjerg.
So you're talking then play five.
Speaking of the right backs, to be honest, right now, I think any Premiership right back would be an upgrade for us. I
Sure.
think we've got the worst right backs in the Premier League.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely not far. Definitely not far from it, Reds. Definitely not far from it. Like,
At this rate, I'd play Tanganga at right back and have Reguilons basically as a left winger for the overlap.
So, Alex, do you get to go to the games, or do you watch from home because of distance, or for whatever reason? Do you get to go to White Hart Lane a lot?
Usually like 4 games maybe a season. That's it, really.
Okay. So, what was the last one you went to this season?
Chelsea, the Carabao Cup one.
Oh, yeah, I was there. That was not a good night. It's just that it's again another semi-final, another choke, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's getting to the point. I mean, Rose, or Adam, you got anything to say?
no, I think you've all just nailed it on the head. Though, if we're going to go off topic, I just want to say night to lead down here, and thanks for watching, man. But like, On the
Big up, Lee.
situation, I honestly don't know. I mean, imagine or like Trent playing with us. I mean, geez, or even a player on the same caliber as Trent. If we're being realistic about it, that would be fantastic. But I mean, if you're a class right wing back and playing at one of the biggest clubs in the world, like around Europe, like why in God's name would you want to come here at the moment of time in the current state we're at? Like, why would you want to come here? Like
Probably
our
more.
top four hopes are dashed more or less, and we're probably at the very best now going to get Europa League, which I think would be fine at this point.
Yeah.
But it
No,
won't
I mean,
attract the
listen,
big players.
this is the issue. Do you know what we got used to in the 90s? This idea that we can't get big players, but you've got to remember, we are a fucking massive club.
Yep.
We're the sixth most successful club in this country. Okay, in history, we are fucking huge. We just don't act huge. We act like, please, sir, can I have some good things as well? Instead of walking in and saying, do you know what? We're fucking Spurs. Come and sign for us. Because we got Levy, who does the sort of shit where you get Paulo Dybala and his agent in the room after you've agreed £130,000 a week deal, and turn around to him and say, we're only going to pay you 100,000, and they walk out. We can attract big players. We can attract the fucking names in football. We choose not to do it. I'm fucking ranting now. We choose not to do it, right? Because of that fuckwit. Chairman.
Well, Alex,
Rez, you're a legend, man.
Alex, the 10 minutes is up, Alex. Do you have a closing statement before we let you go?
Oh, wow.
The steak song. No, steak. I will like steak. Levy fence of money now. Tottenham.
There we go. Well, Alex, thank you for making your debut, brother. Always a pleasure. We'll get you on the channel again soon.
Pick up, Alex.
Come on, Spurs.
See you later, buddy.
Take care, mate.
Okay, so we're going to the final two guests, and these two, I'm just going to let off the chain, Mr. K style, rant away, starting with Mr. David Bosco, who has been Bisco. I've got to stop doing that. David, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for having me on again.
Good.
Big up to Bob Spurs.
Thank you for coming on, buddy. Thank you for the support and the super chats. And your 10 minutes start now.
Firstly, I'm going to say to everyone watching, smash that like button and subscribe. Secondly, I don't even know where to start. I mean, if I wanted to watch shit, I'd have gone down to the local sewage farm and watched it floating around a silo tank. It's unbelievable. I've been saying for months, for years, that you can't polish turds. Jose Mourinho had to try and polish turds that Pochettino polished to a certain degree and couldn't get any more shine out of them. Then you get Nuno come in. They give a little bit of a performance. First 3 games, he sprinkled a little bit of glitter on and make him glisten a little bit. He goes. They get Conte in. Conte gets a little bit of magic out of him. And just as I predicted, those same shit players do exactly the same. You get Winks standing flat-footed, facing our own goal every single fucking time with no single awareness of players around him. He gets clattered from behind or he has to pass back. You've got Sanchez that looks like he's a bunny caught in car headlights. He hesitates. He gets the ball. He looks like he's undecisive of what he's going to do, who he's going to pass to, where he's going to go. So he dilly-dallies. He gets closed down and he then forces himself into a mistake. Ben Davies, fucking hell. I was watching, I won't say the name of the stream, I was watching the stream, but Danny Murphy was on there and he absolutely skinned Ben Davies. He said every single cross he turns his fucking back, and that is unforgivable. Take one for the team. Stand up big. Stand there. Be strong. But Davies does it every single time. Now, I just heard somebody a little while ago going on about Hugo Lloris, 2 mistakes. Yes, the first one, I agree. I mean, the punching. Firstly, I'm thinking it was raining and maybe he's a bit worried about it slipping out of his fingers and dropping. But as you rightly say, Bright, it seems to become a regular thing in his game. Rather than catch, he wants to punch it. Where that's come from, I don't know. And then the second
I was
goal.
going to ask you that actually, to ask what you think the reason is. Why do these players turn to shit at Spurs?
Is it because they're looking up and they're thinking, if the board haven't got any ambition, you know? I mean, you're looking at Harry Kane last season when he wanted to go. The catalyst for me for Harry Kane wanting to leave was Jose being sacked, because he was gutted that Poch went, and then you bring in Jose, and then 6 weeks before the cup final, that's enough to deflate anybody. And I don't, you know, professional footballer or not, you're just going to be like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I staying at this club if they don't fucking believe in the club and the team? Again, we're going back to Hugo with the second one. Yes, it was a diabolical pass, but Davis had plenty of time to look up and punt that ball down the line. Instead, he chooses to put his head down. He never looks, puts his head down and punts it midfield looking for a lucky pass. And it comes from him. There was plenty of time. We always talk about second phases in play, like corners where the goalkeeper might have punched it out. Then you get a bit of time for somebody to clear it, but it comes back in and they score. It's always the keeper that gets the blame, but it's the second phase. And Davis had plenty of time to do something with that ball, but he just does exactly the same as what he always does. He doesn't look.
Well, you know what it is, David, and you saw it with Southampton, and Wolves did it today. The shithousery, the going down injured, the playing down. Both games they played a blinder in that, and Jose Mourinho was completely right in the documentary where he said we need to be horrible C word.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was saying you're too nice. And I mean, I heard something, I can't remember where it was from, that apparently Hassan Hutel deliberately has a player stay down like around the 70th minute so he can chat to all the team to say, right, here we go. And Wolves today, every single time they're down on the floor. And this is the thing, people have said it. David Harris
messages, isn't it, though? Rather than shouting where the player might hear, why not hear?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is the thing, David Harris says it. There's times where if you're not getting a foothold in the game, there's other ways to frustrate them. Yeah. Put a challenge in, kill a bit of time, kill momentum. Yeah. And we just don't even do that.
The biggest worry for me is our inability to pass. You watch every single team against us. It could be a team struggling at the bottom and we play them. They make these little individual quick pass, move. We're flat-footed. We make a pass, the player will make a run, stop, pass back. Even when we're not under pressure, we give the ball away. Now, we can press someone like Wolves, a team like Wolves, and every time we press, they will still manage 2v1 to find a pass.
Yeah.
Simple one-on-ones, we can't even find that pass. We give it. I mean, Doherty, I thought he was playing for Wolves again today, the amount of time he gave the ball.
Well, it came to a point where Wolves were booing him in the corner. And I was like, you should be cheering him that he's gone.
Yeah. David,
like,
David, can I again? I want to posit a question to you, right? Because I've got my idea, right? I want to know what other people think on this one. What do you think is the reason when we have a world-class coach with the coaching team that he wants, that our players can't pass properly? And haven't been able to
do you know my opinion? I think I said it to Brian when at the protest, is that the players are spoiled by the training facilities. They've got it easy. Everything's nice. Everything's luxury. They're not running around on muddy pitches like they used to in the old days. So they haven't got to put the work rate in. You always see them when they're training, playing these little question and answering games and these other little games in between times. Generally, the money in the training facilities for me.
A follow-up question in that case. I'll ask you this, and it's because I'm not sure I agree with your analysis, but I just want to draw it out. How come other teams can pass? They've got good
exactly. Well. Our opposition can always pass, and we can't for some reason.
This is not a new thing. This isn't just happened. It started in that
absolutely. I agree.
Year under Poch, didn't it? I think.
Yeah.
We really struggled. I can't answer that. I don't know. I really don't know. Why is it we've got players that They can't even make a simple 5-yard pass. It's either overhit so that the player that's receiving it has trouble to control it, or it's way past them and they can't catch it.
Yeah.
Or, as against Southampton, you see Reguilon belt down. I think you had Kane, Son, and somebody else running forward, and he passed it behind them, and he's holding his hands out, having a go at them, as if to say, "Why are you running that far forward?" I can't put my finger on it.
I honestly believe. You see, when you watch the training videos or the videos from the training ground, they're passing it back and forth very nicely. It's all going well. I honestly think it's the yips. It's the yips. As soon as they step onto the pitch.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, sorry, but I was just going to say those videos will no doubt be pre-recorded, edited to make them look,
Sure, yeah,
better.
Of course.
Like, so,
Of course.
I wouldn't really rely on them for information.
The point I'm making is that I even then there are still times where there is enough footage to sort of to show that yes, they can actually pass to each other. Whereas when they're on the pitch, it seems like that ability deserts them completely. And I'm convinced it's the yips, and I'm convinced it's a mental thing that starts the minute they step onto the pitch. And this is not this, and I'm the reason is still the same. It's not Brian. It's not Brian. It's the.
It's bloody not me. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's Squiddy at the top.
At the top, yeah.
And Andy's commentary also sums up. It's not only passes you can do, corners, set pieces, you name it. Like I remember earlier in the game, actually. Oh no, sorry. Go on.
You watch. If you watch the next game, I'd say 80% of our throw-ins we throw to opposition.
Yeah.
Headers are the same anywhere on that pitch. They're aimless headers. They're never directed and formed to our own players, and it completely baffles me. I mean, I'd love to answer that question. And give you
rhetorical. It was more rhetorical, to be honest. I was being rhetorical.
David, you have 30 seconds left before we get Ryan on, and then I go to bed because I'm exhausted. So fire away with your final thoughts, brother.
Levy out, Levy out, Levy out, Levy out, Levy out, Levy out, Levy out.
To my ears.
Yeah.
Well said, David.
Thank you, David. I need to talk to you. I'll call you tomorrow because I said I'll call you and we'll talk about something. Okay. So I will give you a call tomorrow. And as I said, thank you for coming on and your support.
Cheers,
as always, Levy out.
And Levy out. Big up Bob Spurs. Get well soon, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll watch this. He'll watch this tomorrow, please God, and he's going to be loving all the love that he's been getting.
Okay.
See you later, buddy.
Take care.
Right. We are on the last guest, and this time I'm just going to let this man, or we're going to let this man, absolutely roll. He's been very, very patient.
Looking forward to this.
He has been waiting in the back end. He is someone that was with me every single day at the protest. I'm going to bring him in now. What's up, Ryan?
What's up?
So, Ryan, this is the final 10 minutes of the show. All yours. No one's going to cut you off. Shoot.
The fan base, the ones calling for Conte's head, get out of my club. Get the fuck out of my club now. Okay? You're part of the problem. You lot can just fuck off. Genuinely. You're so brain dead that you can't see the issues at this club. Okay? Daniel Levy has taken this club to within an inch of the Champions League final. Okay? Gone. Forget it. 5 years ago. Poch was demanding a rebuild 5 years ago. We've still got players from that era. Winks, who got his contract out of a cereal box. Not good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. Fuck off. Get out the club. Should be playing at Bournemouth. I think that's a level too big for him. Sanchez, fuck off. Not good enough. Ben Davis, fuck off. Not good enough. Okay? Top level clubs, when they buy, they realize after 1-2 years, okay, you're not good enough. Gone. They go again. They go again until it comes right. Okay? We don't. Okay? I am fed up with seeing the same mistakes over and over and over again. Okay? And another thing that's pissing me off, I've heard now that apparently the players are upset at the way the fans are going at them. Boo-hoo. Okay? You want to hear it? You must feel, you want to hear how we feel watching you try and pass a fucking ball. Okay? It is crap. Okay? Your mentality is crap if you feel like us are making you play shit. Okay? I am sick to death of fans telling me how I can voice my opinion at games. Okay? I will boo them to the fucking ground if that's the case, because I am not paying £1,200. I pay 1,200 fucking quid, £1,200 of my own money to watch that crap. Shouldn't be accepted. And you look like accept that, get out my club. We don't need that mentality. Mentality spreads from the top. The top is the ownership, is the chairman, it's the board. End of story. You want titles, you want winners' medals, you back the manager that's leading it. And Conte is that man. If you do not back him, who's going to come in? Name me one manager right now that will take over. There's only one, and that's going to be Ryan Mason. No other manager will want this job. It is a poison chalice. End of story. Okay? Finished. If you want Conte out, get out the club. We don't want you. We do not want you. No manager, no player is free from criticism. Okay? All of you saying he got it wrong today. No, he got it spot on today. Okay? The team selection, he got spot on. The formation, in my opinion, he got spot on because we don't have the players to do it. Okay? Oh, you want to play free in midfield? We've got 3 midfielders available. Squad depth, where's that come from? Levy. Everything down the way the kit's worn, the red on the kit, the fucking grass on the pitch, the manager rants inside, the manager's bloody everything. I'm just getting worked up over it, okay? Because it's doing my nothing. I go home and away, week in, week out, okay? Supporting this club because I love this club, okay? But I will not let other people tell me the way I can support my club, okay? I was booing after that second goal because I am not paying the top season ticket prices in Europe to watch crap like that. It is not acceptable, and I will not accept mediocrity at this football club, okay? It's as simple as that. You're accepting mediocrity, go and watch sides, with no disrespect, Watford, Burnley, Brighton, to an extent, okay? We are a big club. It's time we start acting like a big club. That's pretty much what I've got to say. I'm going to keep it short.
So, Ryan, first of all, that was incredible. Well done. The love you're getting in the channel. But this is why people like Ryan and why I say these are the people that need to keep their season tickets. These are the people that work damn hard, and Ryan does work damn hard and goes home and away. So it's not just the home support. Ryan is like me. He spends his money, Ryan spends his money to have his season ticket. He does not spend in the club shop. He does not spend inside the stadium. He goes away. He spends his money to support the team, not to support the board. And everything Ryan has said, and I've known Ryan now since the NFL protest when I came back the first time. It's been at every protest. People have seen me with him and banners. And everything he has said is bang on the money. Ryan, you know what you just did was incredible. It's like when I first came onto We Are Tottenham TV and I shouted and I screamed and whatever. And the passion that comes out of you has to be commended. I mean, what is there any key takeaways from the whole day that you would take from today? Any kind of glimmer of hope? Any positives in your mind?
The only positive I've got, genuinely, our season rests on Ollie Skip coming back fit. If he's not back fit, right off the season, because we are finishing 9th or 10th.
Won't make a difference.
Well, do you know what as well? You add him, and I'll let Riz come in as well and Adam afterwards. It's also Eric Dyer. This thigh injury seems a lot worse than it is, and To say that if someone was to say at the start of this season, Eric Dyer, pivotal, absolutely pivotal, and Ollie Skip as two of the key players that alter the performance, I think everyone would be laughing.
Yeah, I'd laugh them out the room.
And Rez?
I don't think Skip, not because I don't think he's a good player. I think he's brilliant. I've had nothing but admiration for him all season. I don't think it's going to make a difference, right? There is the fundamental.
Ollie Skip would allow us to play the three in midfield we're all crying out for if everyone stays fit.
No, it's football. Brian Clough said football is a simple game, right? It's simple because really the thing that carries a team through a game is hard work and commitment, right? It's hard work and commitment. Okay. Right now, the commitment in that squad is at 0, pretty much. They're not committed, or only one or two of them are. Skip might be one of them. He probably is one of them, right? But 1 player, 2 players, 3 players is not enough.
No.
Okay.
Which is why you got to get rid of them all.
And we've still got the issue of the threadbare squad, right? So 1 or 2 injuries. You know, Dyer's injured at the moment. Skip's injured at the moment. What happens if they get injured again after they come back, right?
It's buts and maybes. We could have said the same
that's
about
true.
Romero.
That's true.
Once they're fit,
We're
they come
not-
back in.
We're not getting top 4.
No,
It's
we're not getting top 4. I'm literally forget the FA Cup, forget top 4, forget top 6.
We might just scrape into the Conference League or the Europa League, right? Top 4's gone. Okay.
Yeah, top 4's gone after today.
The issue we have again is, I mean, seriously, I'm fucking boring myself saying this. The issue is at the top, okay? Wake up, Spurs fans, all right? There is only so many times that you can make excuses for Daniel Levy, right? Before it becomes an exercise in absurdity. What is next? Okay, I was saying this to Adam and Brian in the back room before we came on. What's next? Is it going to be, the white color that we've chosen for this season's squad, for this season's shirts, is somehow incorrect? It's not Levy's fault. I think the players are using new boots and the stitching on the boots is slightly out of alignment. It's not Levy's fault. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the rain was coming down at a temperature that was slightly unexpected. It's not Levy's fault.
Don't forget the temperature of the tea at half-time, Brez.
Yeah, the oranges were not kept in the fridge in the first half. They were slightly warm. It's not Levy's fault. It's fucking Levy's fault.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
Smell the
else,
coffee.
yeah.
It is Levy's fault. I don't give a fuck how much money we may or may not make. Here's the kicker that I said to a friend of mine tonight, okay? We have a similar turnover to Arsenal. This summer, they spent 160-something million pounds on players, if you want to use that particular method of measurement, right? They spent another 100 million the year before. How much have we spent? Right? How much have we spent? And their squad is still threadbare, and we've spent less than them. And our squad is dying. It is an undead creature dragging its carcass over the pitch every week. Stop making excuses for Levy and get behind your club, because Levy is not this club. You might want him to be, okay, but he's not. He is the cancer at the heart of this club. Get behind your club, get behind the protests, go out there and make your voices heard. And then maybe, just maybe, we will get the club that we support back.
Exactly. And on that note, I just want to read, first of all, before we let Ryan go, just to bring up Kuvas, because you've got a lot of love in the comments today. And Kuva, thanks for the support as always. And he said for you, Ryan, I literally got out of my chair and started punching the air to that rant, screaming, you tell him, Rabsy Nesbitt style. God damn, that was spot on. Ryan, you got a lot of love in the comments, mate. And we're going to let you go now, just while we do the other 2 super chats and then sign off, because I'm going to bed. But Ryan,
that was brilliant,
always a pleasure, brother.
In and out, always.
Yeah, always,
well done,
every
sir.
day.
Definitely.
See you later on, brother. So yeah,
Right.
we're just going through
Actually,
the last.
Yakuva dropped in the super chat earlier as well, and sorry it's taken this long to get to, but
Yeah.
like we had to talk to our guests and stuff. He was like, "Oh, don't worry, lads. We only need a backup keeper, 2 right wing backs, 1 left wing back, 2 CDs,
Yeah.
2 MTB mids. Don't know what that means, but like
Box
I'm
to box
sure it means
midfielders.
something. There we
Box to
go.
box midfielders. Yeah.
Box to box midfielders. Actually, that's a very good way of writing it, to be honest. A target man to rotate with Kane, wide forwards, and a Diet Coke. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not Levy's fault, though, is it?
No, no. Then
That's
we
so
got the
not
one from
Levy's
William.
fault. Nah,
Then we got the one from William Kelly.
Of course,
Which is
William
bang
Kelly,
on
the
the
legend
money.
himself. Absolutely, here it is. It says, "Well, now is the time to take Levy, Lewis. Sorry, to take Levy, Lewis, and Enoch out. Definitely, the time for talking is over. The time for action is now, and we can't continue like this. Now, I just want to say here, there's going to be some very close-minded people that will deliberately, whether they want or not, mistake this for condoning violence or inciting violence. No, we are not a violent island-like movement. I say that as part of this movement. Yeah, we just want to. Our goal is to protest, to get these owners out in a peaceful manner and as peaceful as we can. And I mean, I shouldn't even have to say as peaceful as we can. Just peaceful. That's it. Peaceful protests all day, every day against these owners, and they can go away, get out of our club, and do whatever they want. Lord knows they're rich enough to do that. So really, this doesn't need to be that big of an issue. I mean, we don't want to make it that big of an issue. So, but yeah, William Kelly, spot on. I don't blame William as well for the way he worded that. I blame the close-minded
not in the
people
slightest.
who will try to take that out of context.
Of course,
So,
of course.
big
Because-
up, Will.
And this, do you know what? Adam? Do you know what this really shows? This actually shows how small-minded they are, and how pitiful their argument is, because they have to focus on semantics to try and undermine our argument. Right? When you pick holes in someone's wordage in order to make your point, you've already lost the argument. Right? Answer the questions that that we put to people, to these Levy inners. Answer those questions, not whether or not someone has used slightly imprecise language. You know what I mean? But they do that because they have no argument. Anyone who still supports Levy is not a supporter of Tottenham Hotspur. They are a supporter of Enoch, and that's a difference.
And we're just going to very quickly bring up Will Stewart's super chat, and then we are going to wrap up because I am dropping.
Yeah,
I am fucking dropping.
I can actually kind of see it there, Brian. Yeah.
Oh mate, I'm falling. So, Will, always a pleasure, brother. Thanks for your support. I'll read this one.
I'll read. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you got you read it. You got your glasses on, mate.
Thanks,
I'm
yeah.
dropping. But...
Exactly. That's why I was often to read it. He said, "Look, I agree with everything the guest said, but Son, Mora, Kulu, and CB can, and all have played in midfield. They can all play up top as well." I mean, he's not wrong. Like, unlike Will, when we think about it.
We're focusing on the minutiae. Okay, it doesn't matter who's here, who's not. All of that stuff. It's like don't attack the players, don't attack the manager, attack Levy. If you want to boo, fantastic, but direct it at that twat. Direct it at Levy, right? Don't boo. Go. We want Levy out. I said we want Levy out.
Yeah, love it.
Heard, right? Direct, channel your anger, channel your frustration, channel what the rage that watching that dross instills in you at him. Do it at him.
Yeah.
So on that note, I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat, everyone
great
in the
show,
comments, everyone that came on, everyone that donated. We're still on the race for 4,000, so please help us get there and like and subscribe the channel. Rez, thank you very, very much for coming on, brother. Now it's time for you to give. Now it's time to give yourself a big plug. So tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me on Shelfside Spurs show on Thursday nights between 7 and 7:30 is when we kick off. It's a bit eclectic, it's a bit anarchic. We talk about all sorts of stuff and lots of Tottenham. I have my regular rant. And yeah, just come along. We had Mickey Hazard on a couple of weeks ago, which was a lot of fun. And we're hoping to have more sort of special guests in the future too. And yeah, we would absolutely love for you to come and visit us and maybe hit that like and that subscribe button. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at bat_spur.
Exactly.
Well, there we go. There we go. And I can hear my dad locking up, so this is the perfect time.
Curfew time.
Adam, always a pleasure, brother. I'm going to let you push final banner bits and music because I'll mess it up. But I will just say And as always,
Levy out.
out.
Now then, we're ending here. So Levy out. Come on, you Spurs, and yeah, let's
Levy
just
out.
see the season
Levy
out. Levy out.
finishes the
Tottenham on tour. Tottenham on tour. Tottenham on tour.